welcome to Late Night Love. What was that about? You doing sweet nothings to our audience's ears right as we're starting?
No, I was whispering to you.
Oh, I have no idea what that hurt. I couldn't understand anything.
Okay.
So, I have no idea what that was.
I was whispering, if you could let me know right before we go live, that'd be cool.
I did. You saw me hit the button.
Stop it.
You saw me get everything. You saw me hit that one. You saw me hit those two. What more clues do you need, woman?
I don't know.
All the red lights are turning on.
I don't know when you're going to do that. You can tell me know ahead of time.
All the red lights are turning on.
It's about communication.
Yeah, when people start hitting record buttons on things.
And then we sit sometimes and talk.
No, only if I screwed something up. That's the only time we sit and talk after I've hit the record button. That's record button means your camera's live. You're ready to go on even if you're not.
You just leave me to figure things out for myself.
How long have you been doing this? Some things at this point you shouldn't need to have anybody telling you that, oh, wow, buttons are being pressed. We're going live here. Especially that one up there. When I go clicking that one.
I'm going to start asking you.
Yeah, you're going to start getting sarcastic responses. Remember, I'm Gen X. We give sarcastic responses to everything.
No, that's just you.
Oh, no. Apparently it's a generational thing.
Is it really?
Yeah. Anyway, some nights life hands us a mirror that we didn't ask for. Well, a moment where we suddenly see the patterns we've been repeating, the choices we've been avoiding, or the feelings we've been swallowing because saying them out loud feels too risky.
There we go.
Tonight, we're stepping into that soft late night space where honesty feels less like a confrontation and more like a release.
Just now.
We're talking about the tug of war between frustration and growth.
There it is.
The ache of wanting connection and the courage it takes to admit what we really need from our job, our families, our partners, and ourselves. I'm just saying, take a little self-responsibility here. So settle in, let the world slow down for a moment. Whatever you're holding tonight, we're not holding it alone. Oh, you're not holding it alone. Yeah, we're not holding it alone.
We're not holding it alone over here either, obviously.
Clearly. That didn't make any sense. Anyway, all right. Before we start, you can do us a favor and send us your questions, comments, suggestions, etc. to loveatlatenightLove.us. And you can find us at all past shows and our live show and etc. at latenightLove.us and all that good, fun stuff. All right. So that was that.
Good.
I have no idea. I didn't have really an intro for tonight, so
okay.
An intro topic for tonight, so we can just kind of hop right in.
All right, good.
In our first segment tonight, it's all about the friction points, the places where our jobs, our ambitions, and our emotions grind against each other. We've got stories about job hopping when burnout hits, being pushed in departments with managers who drain the soul, the quiet folks who get labeled a problem, and the impossible task of managing someone who just won't grow. And just apparently, workplace baby showers are a real thing. God only knows why. Underneath all of this one, there is one question. How do we build a life that doesn't constantly ask us to abandon ourselves? If you're settling in with us tonight, hit that like and subscribe button so we know you are here. This is going to be one of those days. Anyway. Why did that go away? Okay. That doesn't have a timer. Unless it does. Hold on. This thing is being weird.
I'm not.
Oh, well, no, I'm being weird. I just keep hitting the buttons wrong.
There we go. There we go.
All right, but before we start here, I wanted to show something just for us to get a little, have a little start chat about.
Okay.
I had to have a conversation with my best employee and tell her you're not allowed to pick up the slack for your lazy coworkers. If you keep doing the work of everyone, I don't know who deserves to stay here. So you need to do your job, not other people's, so we can bring in people that are right for the jobs. Because while I believe in culture and everybody helping each other, I would rather have 10 A players all helping each other than one A player picking up the slack of 100 fucking C players.
But see, he's missing a point here. he's got someone who can tell him who's lazy and who just needs a hand, who needs help, who just got behind because stuff happens, right? He's got a person he can ask. He does know. His best employee knows exactly who needs to, right?
Yeah.
Who's the slackers are, and he didn't ask them.
Ah.
Said, hey, here's a small little bonus for helping out. Now, you need to do me a favor. Which one of these morons needs to go?
What if they're reluctant to do that?
That's what the bonus is for. You're paying them to do that. You're making it their job. They'll tell you. They get tired of picking up for lazy people, too. They ain't going to have no problem telling you. Now, the ones that'll have problem telling you are the ones who can do the job, but for whatever reason, going through a divorce, teenage son's going through a rough patch, whatever, those kind of things. They'll happily pick up for those people and keep quiet because it's going to be a short-term thing.
Yeah.
Right? They're just helping them keep their head above water so when they get their head back together, they're not drowned, right?
Yeah.
They don't mind that, which is fine. You should want them to do that. That's what teams working together do. It's the other people. They'll happily tell you who the lazy people are. I don't know a good A worker who won't tell their boss who the lazy person is if you're willing to listen. But what's this thing? No, don't help out the team so I can figure out who the lazy person is. I'm sitting right here. This isn't a secret. I can tell you. Sally, Bob, and Jane are great. Tim is useless. Ralph needs to go. And, the other one, she's nice. What her name is, but she's just never here. I don't know. She could probably do the work if she'd show up. He'd be the one to tell. I'm just telling you. He missed a golden opportunity to empower his employees to actually help build the culture he needs. And instead, he wants to control everything. Mm-hmm. He needs to figure out who should go.
Okay.
Not his team, who actually knows already who needs to go, instead of just asking them. So that's my point. He missed
He missed a golden opportunity. Save time.
He knows exactly.
Energy.
He knows exactly who needs to go. He just needs to ask the right person.
Okay.
All right. What are we starting with tonight?
Well, this person. How do I stop job hopping every time I get frustrated and burnt out at work?
Well, okay. How long is this taking? Is this a 3-month thing, a 6-month thing, or a 5-year thing?
Like 2 years.
2 years isn't really job hopping, and it depends on the job.
Okay.
Right. If you're hopping from, assistant manager at Domino's to assistant manager at Pizza Hut to assistant manager at Chipotle, no one cares that you're changing jobs, right?
Yeah.
That's just changing jobs or some similar type thing, right?
Yeah.
Lowe's and Home Depot and Walmart. It doesn't matter where you're bouncing to. If you're just bouncing between those jobs. It's not what people are talking about when they consider job hopping.
Okay.
Those are corporate jobs. If you're not dealing with corporate jobs,
Yeah.
you don't care.
Okay.
If you're dealing with a corporate job,
Yeah.
it's a different story.
Okay.
So you have to figure out, if you're worried about your career, then it's a problem. If you're just trying to, earn some money so you can be left alone the rest of the time, then you don't really have to care. You apparently get jobs easy enough, so it doesn't matter all that much.
Okay.
And you're getting a nice, breadth of experience.
That's true. That's what I was thinking. That's a lot of experience.
But
And what about if he just hasn't found his spot?
Well, that could be true, but here's the thing. He may actually be more self-reflective here than we are being
Okay.
for him.
Okay.
He may realize the problem is him.
Okay.
The problem isn't the jobs. He says the problem is I get bored of it. He calls it frustrated.
Well, burnt out.
Yeah.
Frustrated and burnt out.
Yeah, well, that's another term for bored.
Bored. Okay.
You know, you're frustrated because you're no longer learning anything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're burnt out because who doesn't get burnt out after a couple of years of going to the same place every day and not really feeling like you're accomplishing anything?
Yeah.
So you could take a pay cut and go into nonprofits.
Yeah. There's a feeling of sense of purpose.
Yeah, and you could do that kind of thing, or
Yeah.
you could separate what you do to allow yourself to live and what you find where you find your self-worth. You go to a job to pay money so you can go off and do what makes you feel like a whole human being.
Okay.
There's another option there,
Yeah.
especially if it pays well. Right? This job allows me to go off and, I get to go work in community theater and get to go off and be an actor in all kinds of goofy community films just because I get to, I don't get paid anything for things, but, there's lots of people who do that. They work drudging jobs that they hate. So on weekends, they can go do things like the vagina monologues.
Mm-hmm.
Most of those people are community actresses. They don't get paid.
Okay.
So these are the kind of things that if you feel the need to feel empowered, to feel like you're doing something, just go do something that you feel that empowers you. It doesn't have to be paid.
Mm-hmm.
You can separate those two parts of your life. I do this so I have money, so I can do something that fulfills me. Because what fulfills you may not be able to pay you. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay.
Our workplace baby showers really a thing? Yeah. Why can't you stop for an hour and celebrate, somebody that you spend 40 hours a week with?
Because I don't want to.
Eat the cake. Be quiet. Bring a pack of diapers. Be nice. She needs to know that she's got your support coming up because she's feeling very shaky right now.
I see this person for 10 minutes a day, maybe passing in a hallway, and I'm supposed to care.
Yeah.
They're a coworker, not a friend. Friend, I'm perfectly happy to fake it. But for a coworker, I'm not entirely sure I am.
You can't show up and eat cake.
I don't eat cake on my own birthday. No.
I make you an angel food cake.
Angel food cakes don't count. There's no candles or frostings. It's not really cake. It's like eating a donut. But my point.
You're complicated.
I don't even need, they don't even give me birthday parties at work because I don't care. I'm really going to buy me donuts, put a candle on a Snickers bar. What are they going to do? And it's pointless. So don't even bother.
I'd be hurt.
That sounds like a personal problem. I'm just saying.
My birthday happens to land on a Sunday this year. Guess who's wearing a birthday girl shirt to church?
Sure. Why not? As if God needs to know.
No, my church family needs to know.
Okay. You gonna put lights and sirens on there as well?
Ooh, my crown. My tiara. My birthday girl tiara.
Sometimes I regret the things that come out my mouth. All right, what's next?
And it's on Mother's Day. Okay. Wife doesn't want to relocate for job that I have received.
Okay, this is actually sadly a common problem, right?
Yeah.
everybody's settled where they are, and one person gets a job, depending upon the size of the job and where it is, and all these things. Yeah. And does she have a job? Is she?
Yeah, she's got a job.
See, this becomes difficult, right?
Yeah. I don't think he should take it.
Well, it depends.
I mean, what are they going to live in separate cities?
You may have to for a little while.
Yeah, I guess so.
I did that for a little while when,
Uh-huh.
opened up a new factory in Fresno. And
Uh,
I lived in Fresno for a little while
uh-huh.
until I could get them down to Fresno. But these things happen. People, take a job in Idaho or North Dakota to go work in the oil fields. They won't bring their families. They go live in a trailer, come home every 3 months. So, but it depends, because that's, if they're making a couple $100,000 a year,
Yeah.
if his new job's $250,000 a year and she's making 35, guess who's moving? Whether she likes it or not, right?
Well, this comes down to in my opinion, that for better or worse, I mean, you really got to do what's best. At the end of the day, you got to crunch the numbers and do what's best for the family.
Yeah, again, now, oddly enough, the closer those numbers are, the more difficult the decision is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, if she's making $50,000 and happy here, he's making $60,000 and happy here. He can make 110 over there. Got lower cost of living, but she don't have a job. It's kind of a wash, right?
Yeah.
Do you move? Don't you? That's
a tough decision.
That's a vast more difficult decision.
It is.
Then, all right, someone's going off to work in some oil fields here for a few years so he can make, a couple $100,000 in a couple years, and that's a different thing. All right, we're going to go suffer for a couple years, kids.
And then we're gonna buy a house.
And then we're going to go live in Florida where it's warm all the time. Right? This is just what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So, but those are also people who can afford those trips to Disneyland.
Yeah.
That's why. How do those people afford those trips? Because they're working in the oil fields in North Dakota where no one else wants to work. But so it really kind of depends. Who's on the career path versus who has a job.
Yeah.
Right? What's the economics like? What's the family life like? Is she just emotionally attached to where she is and that she can get over? One of those things. Sometimes you just don't want to move. Your mom's here and all that kind of stuff.
I know.
And it's hard to do that. But at the end of the day, it's best for the family, as difficult as it is. And sometimes it's not. So, as difficult as this is going to be, they're both going to have to kind of sit down and do the good old-fashioned crappy pros and cons list.
Yeah.
And kind of dispassionately take a look at it first.
Dispassionately.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to remove whatever emotional attachment to is at first.
Because we're talking about logic here.
Yep. Well, you get to add the emotion back in.
Well, yeah, later. But let's look at the facts.
Yeah. You're not going to discount your emotions completely. You're just going to take it out of the equation for now.
Yeah.
You're going to add them back in, but you want to be able to look at it dispassionately, at least for a little bit. Then add your emotions back in because you have to honor those. You can't ignore those.
Okay.
But that's my suggestion. As much as I hate doing pros and cons
I
lists.
know. Pros and con lists. Here we go.
They're terrible.
Yeah.
It's like the worst advice you can give somebody. But hey, guess what?
They work.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
There's occasions where I don't have a better answer. Okay, what's next?
I genuinely don't understand why being quiet at work is an issue.
Well, because sometimes your teammates need this thing that, she was complaining about here at the start of the show, communication, even though it should be obvious. So sometimes,
It's called courtesy.
Just saying. It'd be courtesy if you'd be paying attention to what's going on, too.
Just a small thing out of your mouth. That's all it's going to cost you.
Anyway, okay. But that's why being quiet can be an issue.
Can be an issue.
Can't.
And on the other hand, nitpicking
Yeah, and
is
sometimes
another one.
sometimes it's just a cultural thing, right? You have a place that's used to people being chatty, and then you've got the
Yeah, and then
you-
someone come in who is naturally, that's just who they are.
yeah, and you kind of, the square peg in the round hole.
Yeah.
All the various stuff doesn't fit for whatever reason, and so there's nothing wrong with it. It's just you're the black sheep of the workplace because you're an introvert in a place full of extroverts.
Extroverts, yeah.
Yeah.
And really, haven't you been in this situation before? I know I have.
So, learn to fake it a little bit better, but also, there's ways to demonstrate that your quiet observation technique has its place.
Yeah.
Because the one thing about being quiet is you get to listen. And, you get to hear things that others don't because they're too busy yapping. I'm just saying. Knowing things is a power. So, it's your advantage. Use it. Learn things.
Okay.
Yeah. If other people are talking and you're listening, you get to hear all the stuff that other people are saying about all the other people. Yeah. You get all the inside scoop because other people can't shut up. Right. Okay.
Struggling to manage a junior who isn't improving despite support. Well, maybe they just need a little more time.
Well, it depends. A, are you giving them the proper support? Just because you're giving them support doesn't mean you're giving them the support that they need. And, not everybody's cut out for every job. There is also that.
Okay.
So, the question, I would have to ask what kind of job it is, so it'd be easier for me to kind of tell you, all right, well, because it's different. If you're trying to manage somebody who's managing people, well, then they have to learn, usually it's communication courses and things like that, learn not to be arrogant and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
General, send them to some management training. Seriously. But if they're just struggling to do the actual tasks of a job, they're not really managing other people. They're just, a bookkeeper or whatever, and they can't put the numbers in the right columns or whatever. It's a different story, right?
Mm-hmm.
So make sure you're actually giving them the kind of support they actually need.
Okay.
Because you might think you're giving them support, but you're not.
Okay. It's a different kind of support that they need than they need. It's what
They might,
what,
they could be completely worthless, and you cut bait as soon as you reasonably can, right?
Oh my gosh.
Well, so they can move on to someplace they can be successful.
Well, yeah, okay.
You're not doing them any favors either.
Well, all right.
In that position where they're not just completely not suited for the job, you're not doing them any favors. You're wasting their time as much as they're wasting yours.
Okay.
Sure, it's sad that someone loses a job, but the reality is in 6 months they're going to lose it anyway, and now they've wasted 6 months of their life.
Okay.
So,
All right. But that's got to be hard.
I'd say it was easy. Life stinks. Mother Nature's a cruel mistress. And it's just part of nature. It's part of the way things are. Sadly.
Sadly.
But,
Living in the jungle.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You Utopia is a place that doesn't exist. That's the definition of utopia. So all this stuff where we want to live in a world where nothing bad ever happens to nobody, yes, the reason we call that utopia is because it doesn't exist and it never has and it never will. Because even if we did, we'd break it just for fun, just for something to do. Seriously, humans, if you had the perfect world, the perfect life where nothing ever broke, nothing ever went wrong, we would break something just for something to do. Out of sheer boredom.
Well, you got to take it apart to see how it works.
I'm just saying.
Then you got to put it back together again.
So
That never comes out. You always got 1 or 2 pieces left.
So find out what your coworker actually needs. Is he actually just worthless, or is your support not the right type of support he needs?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Oh, this poor thing.
Okay.
Okay, he has a crush on his coworker, and it's
Yeah.
driving him insane.
Yeah. Forget about it.
Forget it. Let it go. Let it go.
Even though they are young enough.
Let it go.
At 21, 22, you actually are old and young enough where you can take the risk, because one of you is generally probably not someone's manager or something.
Yeah.
You're probably coworkers at the same entry-level positions. Mm-hmm. So you can actually take the risk. It's not...
But think about it, man. Dating and being together all day at work.
Well,
I knew people who were married and did that, and it was just really interesting.
Well, you can work different shifts. You can go to a different store. There's all kinds of solutions to that if it becomes a problem.
Okay.
Right? Meeting
yeah.
someone you like is difficult enough in this
Well, that's true.
in this cold, cruel world.
Especially one that's receptive.
Yeah, if she's even half receptive, you got almost at 21, 22, even if you lose the job, what do you care? You can get another Burger King job or wherever he's working, right? They're not working anywhere. Go down to Planet Fitness. They're always looking for somebody. Yeah. Take the risk. Why not? Especially if she's somewhat been receptive to the idea.
Yeah.
Don't be a jerk about it. Be as polite as you can muster, right?
As polite and, I would say, I don't quite know how to put this, but almost just very, are you interested? Not that no pressure, no weirdness, no.
Do it like you think your grandpa did with your grandma.
There you go.
Not how they actually did. Do it like you think they would have.
You think.
They
Yeah.
would have. Not how they actually.
No.
The reality is different than you think. But
Just let it go. That.
but
Brain bleach. Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop right now.
don't think any farther than that. But
Yeah.
think of some old movie. Be as polite as you can, and if she says no, you have to accept it. It'll be crushing, but it's part of nature. And these are the ways you learn to deal with rejection. It's sad, but it happens.
Yeah.
But you're better off than you were before, because at least now you don't have a what would be.
Yeah. I got a couple of those.
There's no what would have been. It's, well, I took my shot and didn't work, but at least I tried, and you get to move on.
There was this nice guy in the Army that I overlooked because I was too busy drinking and just being crazy. But he was a nice guy.
Yeah.
40 years later, I still think of him, Ryan.
There you go.
We never did anything. We had a drink together. That was it. And then I got drunk and went off with somebody else. Yeah.
Yeah. Stop drinking. Oh, wait.
So I did. I did.
So,
No, just 37, almost 37 years ago. Yeah.
hey.
Anyway, but what my point is, do you really want to have a what if, 40 years down the road?
Yeah. What's interesting is my TV show is as old as your sobriety.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's over 36 years.
Wow. Wow.
I haven't been part of the TV show for 36 years. Let's be clear.
Yeah.
I've just been doing it for the last 8?
8.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're part of its history.
Yeah. We're an institution.
That's so cool.
We're a local institution.
Yeah.
Okay, what is next?
I'm being asked to move to another department with a terrible manager. Should I put my foot down and say no?
Well, probably, but
Yeah.
you might want to have a discussion with that manager that you think is terrible.
Okay.
You may not be as terrible as his reputation is. Sometimes people don't like a manager because they're demand accountability. And if you don't have a problem with accountability, you won't have a problem with a manager. So, not all tough managers are terrible. Not all terrible managers are actually terrible.
And really, what can you put up with? There was this one manager. I didn't really want to come under her, but I did. And because of this one reason, she was great except for one thing. She was like an older sister who could pick on you, but nobody else could. Mm-hmm. And she would pick on you. But it was just little neener things.
Well,
So I had to make a decision. And I decided for the money, for the promotion, I could put up with a little neener things every now and then.
Yeah, well, you were an older sister, so you know how
I was an older sister. I knew how that went.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing: you should interview for the other manager before you put your foot down. Yes or no? At least that way you're coming across as at least open to it.
Yeah. Yeah, instead of just saying absolutely not.
And there may be a reason they're moving you over there because they need to replace that manager and they need someone who knows what they're doing first.
Yeah.
To get acclimated. So, but anyway, suss out what's really going on before you put your foot down one way or another.
Okay.
That's my suggestion because there's probably more than meets the eye to this thing.
Okay.
I have a suspicion.
Okay.
So if you're listening and thinking, I've been there, just know this. Frustration isn't failure. Burnout isn't weakness. And wanting something better for yourself is not a crime. You're allowed to choose the life that fits you, not the one that exhausts you. And as always, have a good night. And please remember to love everybody.